we go again.
Y'all remember when American Eagle launched an ad that starred Sydney Sweeney in July?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
Remember when people, many non-black people, took issue with this ad, claiming it promoted white superiority in eugenics? Well, Sydney finally responded in an interview by GQ, and it went as well as one might expect.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that, maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Ooh, sorry, Sydney, but you've kind of already told us what you think. And you knew what you were doing. Sydney, look, I don't think you're racist. I don't have enough evidence based on your past, but you don't look good in this situation. You likely approved the content of the ad. You confirmed the intent of the ad. You knew what was going to happen. This interview was your chance to denounce white nationalism, and you failed miserably. Look, I get it. You don't want to lose your fan base, the Groypers and the alt-right movement. But once again, there's the fence. You chose a side. You got to deal with the consequences. Guys, look at that smile. Come on. You'd have thought she was Trump's sugar daddy or something like that. I mean, clearly she's happy at the thought of Donald Trump. That's a MAGA stare, y'all. But seriously, y'all, no one would have had an issue with the Sydney commercial had American Eagle not promoted white superiority. It's literally that simple. Now, American Eagle did apologize, I guess. If you want to call it that. I mean, if it wasn't so painfully obvious, I wouldn't even be making this video. But it was so painfully obvious. America, why do y'all think black people care about stuff like this? Because we don't. We didn't care about the American Eagle ad, and we don't care about Sydney Sweeney coming out of the MAGA closet. The MAGA agenda has pushed white superiority since Trump made the Make American Great Again slogan. Yet somehow black people get dragged into this conversation that we didn't even start. Remember when Beyonce's Levi denim ad was released on August 4th? About 2 weeks after Sydney Sweeney's ad? Fox and a few Republicans took this opportunity to highlight a fake double standard, that black women with white features can mimic white beauty standards and be met with praise, while white women are not afforded the opportunity to celebrate their own white features or wear black features without being called racist. They dragged Beyoncé while claiming to be victims of cultural appropriation.
Again, I don't want to overly racialize this. I'm not trying to say every point of criticism has that kind of sentimentality, but it definitely exists. It definitely is an energy source here that they just find something so repulsive and offensive that a white blonde girl will be profiled in an advertisement like this, as if this is regression away from the wokening of the country. And let's call it for what it is. That is unadulterated, naked racism against the white women of this country.
Yeah, and we've been dealing with it for years now, and we're sick of it. That's part of what—
Oh my gosh, shut up. That's not it at all. Nobody cares that she's young, white, and blonde. They care that she's young, white, and blonde and is mentioned in a commercial that says, "My genes are the good genes." Genes. That's what was implied. That's the only reason why we're talking about this. Even the great Pierce Morgan chimed in. Do y'all even know why black women care so much about cultural appropriation? It's because society takes aspects of black culture while simultaneously degrading black women about those very same qualities that are being mimicked. Imagine taking a test, someone steals the answers to your test, you get a 50, they get 100. Those same qualities are perceived in a positive light when worn by non-black women. But that's another topic for another day. Let's stay back on topic. Let me tell you the painfully obvious differences between Beyonce's ad and Sydney Sweeney's ad. Beyonce's message was universal. She recreated the famous Levi commercial by Nick Kamen in 1985. Her message was clear and simple. celebrate the iconic American female perspective, just as Nick did in 1985. She dressed up as Marilyn Monroe, one of the most powerful and iconic women in America. She didn't use a play on words to subtly profess black superiority or anything like that, but Sydney Sweeney did. Sydney Sweeney wanted controversy. She didn't want to lose her fan base, so she took a play from Trump's playbook and let MAGA fight her battles for her, while she sat back and filmed Euphoria. But you know what? I do wish the reporter asked Sydney one question. I wish she asked her, who has the bad genes? You know what's becoming increasingly more clear? MAGA are the biggest snowflakes since the release of Frosty the Snowman. You complained and moaned about overt black superiority in media with the central theme of race doesn't exist, yet you not only praise the commercial that delineates race, but that same commercial also specifically identifies a good race. What sense does that make? MAGA has a tendency to mount a unified, inflammatory response that pushes the MAGA agenda to the depths of the Elon universe. Their loudmouths drown out logic. That's their tactic. Y'all are directly attacking the reporter for asking Sydney the inevitable hard questions. Apparently that's a liberal thing, asking logical questions.